Gashmias. Ukedisa Betanya. It says in Tanya, Sha'aguf, Salderech, like the Rebbe Rashab said the Lashon. There's once a person came to the Rebbe Rashab and he was in the business of kaloshin, of rubbers, boots. So the Rebbe Rashab said, I saw I saw his feet in boots, but I didn't see a head in boots. In other words, he was implying the person was so involved in his inyan, which was more than he really needed to be involved. Al-derech, like the Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek writes in Derech Mitzisecha, B'negiyan Yonim from Parnasa, so he says that it's al-derech like a levusha garment, and sometimes as if a person invests more, although he figures he's going to have more, but the pale mamish, if it's taka more than he taka needs, it's considered like sewing a long garment, which eventually he's going to trip on it. That's the mashal that he gives. Azal Loshen. But Akol Panim, the word over here, Benegeh Chumri, is that it's inyan of that it's something that covers up on his neshama. Chumrius. It's considered inyan of Chumrius, it covers up on his neshama. Okay, the Isa Betanya Shaguf Deime Bechumriuse, the Gufe Yumas Oilam. That the guf, that the neshama descended in the body. And the body is considered, in comparison to the guf, the body is considered, is similar to the bodies of other nations. There's a word in the Maimer from the Rebbe Rashab, but we'll use it for a different time. That also, that immediately, as soon as the neshama descends lamata, Razal, Malach v'sotri al piv. The Gemara says that then the malach comes and immediately slaps him over the mouth. He makes him forget the Torah that he learned before. The question is, Takei Bazei, why did he learn? So as we mentioned earlier, that the reason that he was learning Torah was in order he should have the energy, the potential to be able to learn Torah later as a neshama beguf. But it has to be initiated on his own. So that's why he forgets the whole Torah. On the Nach, he starts from scratch. And as you mentioned then, that there were certain kids that were mamish considered wonder kids, that Tzaddikim said on them they did not forget their learning from then. And some of them were Pashat, the Tzaddik himself did it to the child. He says he just snapped him over the mouth and he forgot his learning. So then the guf becomes a mitzios. In other words, till then the guf is not an entity for himself because it's part of the womb of the mother. It's part of the mother. Then he becomes a mitzios. The lashon from the Rebbe in Yiddish, which is certain in Yonim, that the Rabbeim left in Yiddish, was they left it in the Maimer in Yiddish, means that how much there should be translations. For this word, it can never be translated in a justified way. So therefore, the Rebbe says the lashon, der Guf hat was zu sagen. This means the Guf has also something to say. And this is when the Aveda starts with the Guf, because the person becomes an entity for himself. And that is the reason also why there's a Simcha Bayim Aledes, because this is when he begins fulfilling his shlichus in the world. Not only that the guf has something to say, the neshama needs the guf for everything. The neshama is like in a prison, and it needs to rely on the guf, that the guf should give all its needs. Otherwise, the neshama will not be able to remain in the guf and fulfill the shlichus and the aveda. As the Rambam says, that ayes haguf bori, medarke Hashem, medarke avedas Hashem. That the guf should be, the guf being healthy is part of Avedas Hashem, serving Hashem, because otherwise it's not Shayah B'chal that the guf should be able to function. And b'meila, the neshama can't accomplish anything. So meila, this is the shleimus of this is where the guf becomes the decision maker and everything. And the Goli, in a revealed way, we see only the guf, which means the neshama is not even there, not even be revealed. And the male of the neshama is not revealed. He doesn't see; he sees only the gashmias. And the male, which this is also the same thing in regards to world. that a person looks at the world, he doesn't see the godliness in the world, which is the neshama of the world. V'yeser al kein, and even more yet, that the tchilas ha'knisas ha'nefesh ha'kedusha b'Yisrael, that the beginning of the nefesh ha'kedusha b'Yisrael, which means that the neshama goes into the guf, chelik elekam emal mamash hirak b'yem hashmini, kishayimul b'sar or lasei. The neshama arrives on the 8th day by the bris. By women it says isha keman de mehila domya. It's considered like she had a bris. So therefore the knisa is before. But here it's pasha by the 8th day. This is the knisa. Ushleimus ha-knisa. The shleimus, the completion is kasher ha-yetzer teiv nasa meishel v'shelet v'shefet b'kir, becomes by mitzvah. As the yetzer teiv becomes a ruler, and they judge, because it's zev is a shefton. Both of them judge the person. So b'meila the yetzer teiv also has to judge the good inclination. When is it he begil ba mitzvah bas mitzvah? By 13 years old or by 12 years old? The Yetzer Hara says, I came before. I'm there 13 years earlier or 12 years earlier. Which this is also connected with a story of Benegeh the Ruzhener. The Elik Ruzhener, the Bishasi became Bar Mitzvah. So they asked him, how did he manage 13 years without a Yetzer Teiv? So he said that when it comes to a Din Teira, it comes to a Jewish court, there needs to be two sides. He says, when the Yetzer Hara came and tried to persuade me, I said, I also have to hear from the other side, and I'm not accepting anything till the second side arrives. And Memela, he avoided him for 13 years. Shekol inyanim meilu, mevalvel mehem lavedas havaya. That all these inyanim are disturbing a person to Avedas Hashem. Take in consideration who is the primary doing the activities. And even when he's already doing his Aveda, his service to Hashem, he finds himself in Eila Masiyah, which Eila Masiyah means that he's pashat yet in that way that he is he's in the lowest world. He has to elevate all the inyanim l'mayla. He has to elevate it to a higher level. Through Avedas Atfilah. He has to elevate it from this physical world. I saw a vortere, a sicha from the Rebbe, in Tovshan Chavav. The Rebbe tells a story that by the Tzemach Tzedek, that by Tzemach Tzedek once in a Chag HaSukkos, before the mark time, that people would come for the market in Lubavitch, another city. So the Tzemach Tzedek then said a maimer. It was in the night time before the morning, and in the maimer, in the Rashbas, Rav Shmuel Betzalel was one of the distinguished chassidim, was leaning on the table of the Tzemach Tzedek's table, and he was leaning between the light and the Tzemach Tzedek's table. And while he's leaning, he realizes that his shadow is on the Tzemach Tzedek's table. So he thought to himself, is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Then he says, even if it's darkness, the Tzemach Tzedek will elevate it. So the Tzemach Tzedek, in the middle of the Maimer, this is we're talking about thoughts here. Tzemach Tzedek said, Cheshech kemen nicht Meila sein. Eir kemen Meila sein. Revelation we could elevate, but not darkness. So the Rebbe asked the question, the whole Aveda of Chassidus is Hapcha Chasheichel and Heira, converting darkness to light. So what says he can't convert it? So the Rebbe says in Cheshech there's two opinions what darkness is. Is it an entity for itself? Is it a Bria Metzias for itself? Friedrich Rebbe speaks about it in Tzadikei Maimor in 1935, a whole Hemshech Tishrei. Or is it a Heder Ha'er? Is it the lack of light? So the Rebbe says the lack of light, the Tzemach Tzedek is referring to, doesn't Ishtovas Reden. You can't elevate it. There's no tachlis in it. Because it's not that you're taking darkness and converting. There's nothing of substance there that you should benefit from and accomplish. When we speak about the lack of light, Shasa becomes darkness itself, solid darkness, this you could be Maila. So the Rebbe said that Tzemach Tzedek was referring to something which was the lack of light.